Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. Thanks for joining us on this video. We have got some exciting stuff to tell you, something that's, I think a lot of people will be interested in. And we'd love to show you how to actually get some free gold and silver. Now, I know that sounds too good to be true, but it's not. It's actually possible if you follow some very, very simple steps that we're going to show you during this video. So, James, do you want to just give us a quick disclaimer before we start and get that out of the way?
Yeah. As I always do, we have to get this in. We're not financial advisors. We are financial educators. We make people financially aware, more financially aware. So we empower families to make their own decisions, financial decisions. Because if people had this information, if they were given this information in the first place, they would be able to make their own financial decisions. They wouldn't have to rely on people that were outside of their family, financial advisors, etc. There's too much bad advice, what we believe, given to people out there these days, and it empowers you personally, you and your family, if you understand this yourself. And it isn't rocket science. It really isn't rocket science. If somebody were to teach you this stuff at an early age at school, if you were to learn about money and the financial system and the banking system when you were at school, you'd be in a far better place today. Guaranteed you would have been in a far better place today. So yeah, again, we're not financial advisors, we're financial educators. We do not tell you what to do. We do not advise. Is that okay, Adam?
Right. Yeah, sounds good. I think it's important as well because people can then learn this stuff for themselves and have the power in their hands and not be reliant on an individual or several people to tell them what to do. You'll know what to do. You'll see it for yourselves. So let me share my screen with you and we'll crack on with this here. So look, revealing the secret of how to get free gold and silver. Now we call it a secret because it's not known by very many people. Even people in the gold and silver industry don't know that you can do this. And we want to give that to you. When you fully understand this, it's such a big gift that you can give to someone. So we're very excited about this. I think, first of all, just to understand that depending on where you are in the world, in different countries, there's different ways that we can help people. So what we're going to show you now is available to a lot of people. Some people in some circumstances and in some countries, it's not possible to do. But there's other ways that we can help you. Okay, so we just want to make that clear. If people think that they hear this stuff and then they go out and say, right, I'm going to go and try and do this. What am I trying to say here, James? We want to help as many people as we can. With this, we can help a lot of people. But there's some people that it works slightly different in their country. Let's put it that way. Yeah,
it's going to be different for everybody, isn't it? But this is something we can't keep to ourselves, and we're not ones for learning something that's great and that can help people, and not sharing it. We're going to tell everybody. Anything we find out in life, in general, if we find something that's going to help you and your family, we'll share it. We will not keep it to ourselves. So it'd be very selfish of us not to share this with you.
Yeah,
because it's I mean, this today we're going to go through the how do I explain it, Adam? We're going to go through the basics of it. We're going to go through the basically the basics of it, how it works, the theory. That's and then in the following videos that we're going to be putting out there on our channel. So please keep an eye out for our videos in the future. We're going to be showing you the how to actually do it. We've got a lot of exciting things coming in the future, so please keep an eye on our channel and keep a lookout, because it will help you and your family a lot more than we were helping otherwise. We're always trying to progress and trying to help you even more than what we are doing already. So please look out for what's coming. Good stuff.
So this is, I guess, is like an intro to this topic, and then like James said, we're going to give you the how-tos in another video. So but you need this foundation first of all. You need to kind of know the environment and know the idea behind it all. So at the end of this video, we're actually going to show you how you can get free gold and silver, and how you can automate it. So you can actually get free gold and silver, and it's set and forget. It's automated. And big claims, I know, but sit tight and we will literally show you how this is done. So first of all, I just want to say that obviously we love gold and silver. There's huge benefits from saving in gold and silver rather than paper money in a bank. The two main ideas and reasons why we think gold and silver are really good to save in. One is control, and that's the most important, that you actually control the metal if you purchase it and do it in the right way. Whereas paper money in the bank, you don't own it and control it. This is why governments and countries need deposit protection schemes, because there's a chance that you might not have your money. So control is the first big pillar. The second is the performance of metals over time compared to paper money. So paper money devalues over time. It's what they're designed to do. And metals, as history shows us, they actually go up in value over time. So they're the two pillars for why gold and silver. It's good that you understand that initially. But here's how you get some free metals. So let's just give you an example of the performance of gold and silver over a set time frame. And we're going to be doing this in pounds. We're in the UK. The principle is the same wherever you are, whether it's dollars, euros, you can replace the pound sign for dollars or euros. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So over time, if you had in the year 2000, £10,000 worth of, £10,000, and you bought £10,000 worth of gold, in 2021, it would be worth nearly £75,000. So that's just the performance of gold over that time. And all you would have done is bought the gold and then sat back and waited 21 years.
Not bad.
So, yeah, not bad. A good performance. But it's very passive, which is really good for a lot of people. They don't want to be kind of, sat with a coffee and a Red Bull, sat at their screen ready to click every 2 minutes. That's not right for most people. It's a very passive way of doing it. You just buy it and let it do its thing. Fine. If you'd done the same with silver, you had £10,000 worth, £10,000 and you bought silver. In the year 2021, it would be worth £60,500. So again, a good return. But how could you get more than this? How could you get more? Is there a way that you could actually get more gold and get your metals to perform even better? Well,
oh yes.
It's something called the gold-silver ratio. And we've touched on this on previous videos, but we're going to really dive into it a little bit more in here. And the theory behind it is that you switch from gold to silver and then back to gold again. And we're going to show you an example of how that actually plays out, and you'll be amazed at what it does. I guess in the traditional sense, you would buy some gold. You would then sell that gold for cash. You would have the cash. You would then take that cash and buy the silver, which is a very inefficient way of doing it. And we would actually say, if you're doing it with the physical metals that you are holding in your hand, and you're buying them from a gold dealer, and then you're actually taking them back and switching them and all this kind of stuff, it's probably not worth doing. Because the margin that you're going to pay each time you purchase, plus if you've got silver in your home, you're going to pay the VAT as well. So you've got a margin on the gold when you buy it. You've got a margin when you sell it as well. You've then got the cash. And then you've got another margin when you buy the silver, another margin when you sell the silver, and then another margin when you buy the gold. So it's costing you at every point. And
the more moving parts there, sorry, Adam, to cut in there, but the more moving parts there are, the more cost to you, isn't there? So we like to cut out the moving parts, or basically make it a lot easier, a lot simpler, with less moving parts.
Yeah, so if you think about it, you're going from gold to cash to silver, back to cash, back to gold. Well, if we could just get rid of the cash element, then you can go directly from gold to silver and back to gold. And that's what you do. And that's what we do. And we're going to show you how that actually works out. And it's called the gold-silver ratio. So check it out. Do your own research, as we always say. Check this stuff out. Look up the gold-silver ratio. The gold-silver ratio.
We wish we'd known this a very long time ago, Adam, don't we? We wish we'd known this right at the very beginning.
Yes.
But hey, if you take action now, you will benefit from it. There's no point. There's no point regretting anything or wishing that you'd known earlier. You just learn it, take action, and go do it sooner rather than later. If that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I think as well. If you only did this switch between the metals 1 or 2 times, you would make a dramatic difference. Yeah. And it really is, and we'll show you in a second how that works. So look, it's called the gold-silver ratio, and it just asks one question. How many grams of silver can you get with 1 gram of gold? Okay, so it's comparing the value of the price, the value of the gold, compared to silver. And the way you do that, you can find loads of websites out there that will just give you the gold-silver ratio. You don't need to work it out, but I'll show you how it's actually calculated. So you take the price, the gold price per gram. You can also do this in ounces. It doesn't matter whether it's, as long as everything's in the same unit, whether it's all ounces or gram, we're doing it in grams. Gold price per gram, and you divide that by the silver price per gram, okay? So the gold price, when we were putting this together per gram, was £42.17. So 42.17 is the gold price per gram, and we're dividing that by 0.59. So it's 59 pence, 59p per gram of silver. So we're taking 42.17 divided by 0.59. And that gives us a gold-silver ratio of 71.47. Just call it 71 to keep it nice and simple. So you've got this ratio of 71. And the ratios fluctuate depending on what happens to the price of gold and of silver. So gold could stay the same and silver could move, and that would change the ratio. Or silver could stay the same, gold could move, and that would change the ratio. In practice, what happens is they're both moving all the time. And then you just get this number. And this number is all you're looking for. And you're going to look for different points, different values to this number. And just by switching at different values, you can get free metals. Literally, that is it. Let's show you. So on this graph, this shows you the ratio, the gold-silver ratio. So this is not gold price, it's not silver price. It is the ratio of gold compared to silver. And what you can see here, we've got 2 lines in there. And this is at a ratio of 60 and a ratio of 80. So a ratio of 80, what you're saying is for 1 gram of gold, you can buy 80 grams of silver. At a ratio of 60, you're saying for 1 gram of gold, you can buy 60 grams of silver. So comparing 80 to 1 to 60 to 1, your silver at 60 to 1 has become relatively more expensive compared to your gold, because you can only now get 60 grams of silver for that same 1 gram. Does that make sense, James? Is that clear?
Yes, it does, mate. Yeah. But what I will say to people who are watching this, if you don't get it straight away, just watch it again and again until you do.
Yeah.
Or even better, just get in contact with us and we'll talk you through it.
How many times did we have to hear this before it actually sunk in?
Yeah, exactly.
We were sat there with our mouths open initially, weren't we? Just going, kind of makes sense, but not really. So you just
sometimes, if we haven't looked at it for a while, a good several months, we have to remind ourselves. Yeah. You know, it's not something that you're going to get straight away unless you're that way inclined. Some people will. Yeah. But most people, I think, might have to watch this several times.
Yeah. So look, when it gets to a ratio of, let's say you had some gold here, okay, right at the very, very beginning of the graph. And as the graph moved up and hit 80 to 1, you switch your gold to silver. Now at 80 to 1, relatively speaking, your gold is expensive and your silver is cheap. So you switch your expensive gold to cheap silver at 80 to 1. That means you've got 80 grams of silver. As you can see, then the ratio comes back down, and I'm right on the left-hand side of the graph here, and it hits the 60 mark. At that point, you switch your silver, your now relatively expensive silver, back to cheap gold. So you've done a full cycle. You started with gold, you went to silver at 80 to 1, you waited for it to go to 60 to 1, and you switch back from silver into gold. And you might say, well, great, what does that, how does that benefit me? I've started at gold and I've ended at gold. Because there's a difference in the ratios, you actually get more metal than you started with, and it didn't cost you anything. You didn't put any more money in. You've not purchased any more. You've just used the ratios in your favor. Put very simply, as the ratio goes up, gold is relatively expensive and silver is cheap. So the higher the number, the more expensive gold is compared to silver. And the total opposite is when it goes down. Gold is cheap relative to silver. Now, we're not saying here that silver is worth more per gram than gold, because there's a big gap there. Yeah. But what we're saying is in relative terms. So relative to the other metal, relative to where it was before, silver would be more expensive compared to the cheap gold. Mm. Okay, let's give you an example and put some actual figures into this, because this is where it will really come alive. Let's imagine you start with 100 grams of gold. And again, it doesn't matter if it's grams, ounces, it's all the same. But we start with 100 grams of gold. And at a ratio of 80 to 1, you switch your gold to silver, giving you 8 kilos of silver, or 8,000 grams of silver. So you've got obviously 80 times the amount that you had in the first place. Some time passes and the ratio moves to 60 to 1. And at this point, you switch your 8 kilos, your 8,000 grams of silver back into gold. This would give you 133 grams of gold. Okay, just let that settle in. You started with 100, you've switched it to silver, you've then switched it back to gold at a different ratio, and you've got 33 grams more gold. That's a 33% increase just from switching the metals. And that metal is free. That's free to you. So there you go. You've not got your 100 grams, you've got one full 100 gram bar and a third of another bar. So it's 33 grams more than you started with. And 33 grams, the current market value today is just under £1,400. So you've made £1,400 and you've not put any more money in. This is the beauty of it. This is why it's free. So something interesting, I think, at this point is we've not talked about the actual price of gold or the price of silver. We've just looked at the ratios. That's all we've done. And actually, the price, let's say the price of gold never went up. Let's say it stayed totally flat all the time. And all you did is switch between the metals and got more free metal. You are in a better place and the value of your metals has increased because you physically got more. I guess for people that understand the stock market, it's like the share price staying the same, but you've got more shares. So therefore, the value of your total portfolio is bigger, is greater. It's a higher value.
And this really, it's really not hard to do, Adam, is it? It's just a case of looking at the spot price every day. Oh, sorry, looking at the ratio every day. And if it hits whatever number you're working off.
Every day, though, not even every day. I mean, the gold and silver markets, they don't move that quick. You know, they're not as volatile as crypto or anything like that.
Crypto, do they? Yeah.
You could probably look at this once every 2 weeks. once a week, once every 2 weeks, really, because it's not moving that much. What we're going to show you in a second is you can actually, in the future, you'll be able to automate this so you don't have to look at it ever.
Brilliant. Very excited about it, aren't we? Very excited about it.
It will do it. You will get free metals automatically from set and forget. You will set the system up and it will do it for you, and you will get more metals for free and you don't have to do anything. So let's give you an example over time of how this could actually look if you did this over a 20-year period. So if we start at the very beginning of this graph, and we're going to use the lines of 60 and 80, just so you know as well, this is not an exact science of exactly 80 and exactly 60. If it was at 81, you know, you saw it one day and it was at 81, fine. If it was at 79, that's okay as well. The important thing is that there's a difference between the ratios when you're switching. So we start, let's imagine we've got £10,000 worth of gold at the very beginning of this graph. As it goes up, it hits 80, we switch from gold to silver. As it comes down to 60, we then switch silver to gold. It goes back up to 80, we go gold to silver again. Back to 60, silver to gold. And we keep doing this at the 80 and 60 level. So every time it touches one of those lines, we switch. Now, for some of these, it's a matter of a few months. For others, it's years. But over a 20-year period, it would have made 6 touches. So think about it this way. This is just one way of working it. There's a few different ways, which we'll show you in the next videos. But at 80 and 60, you would have switched 6 times over 20 years. So think about, 365 days a year times 20 years. And 6 of those days, you are actually doing something. The rest of the time, you do nothing. So although this is a more active way of, I guess, a more active way of using your investment, it's still not, again, sat there every day waiting with your mouse to click. If you would have done this with £10,000, it would have made a dramatic difference. And we'll show you the numbers now of how much you could have made, how much more you could have made. So as we showed you at the beginning, let's compare it. So £10,000, if you just had gold, we know nearly £75,000 worth. So it's gone up, very nice. That's just having gold, doing nothing with it. If you would have had the silver, then again, £10,000 worth will have turned into £60,000 worth. If you would have switched at 60 and 80, you started with that same £10,000, you would have made, the value of your metals would be £176,000. So you've made at least another £100,000 just for switching 6 times over 20 years. And that metal is free. It is free metal to you. So not only do you get physically more metal, but you've got more metal that then goes up in value as well over time. So it's kind of this multiplier effect that can put you in a far better position just from switching between them 6 times in 20 years. How easy is that? So that's an extra £101,000 in your pocket, starting with 10,000. Now, obviously, if you've got more than that, or you've got less than that, those numbers would change. But this gives you a good idea of what's possible. It's about 2.5 times increase just from switching. And what it does is it actually protects you. Let's say the gold price dipped a little bit. Well, you've got physically more metal, so you can protect yourself from the market going down. In fact, if you work this right, the price of gold and silver could go down. Let's say, over a year, whatever happens, and the price at the beginning of the year compared to the price at the end, and it's been a negative performing year, which it does happen sometimes, you could have actually made money even though the value went down, the price of the metals went down, because you physically got more. Now, I hope that's making sense to people. Hope we've got the message across. It's not the easiest concept to grasp initially, It's not intuitive as well, looking at ratios on a graph. My brain always reverts to price. And as it's going up, I'm thinking, right, the price is going up, but it's not always the case. So watch this video again. Oh, we said we're going to tell you how to automate it, didn't we? So in the future, well, in the very near future, the system that we use to do this switching is going to be automated, and you'll be able to literally type in the ratios that you want to switch at and just let it do its thing. And it will switch automatically for you, and it will send you an email and just say, your metals have been switched, and here's how much extra you've got, how much extra free metal you've got. And you can do that as many times as you want. So we'll let you know when that's fully automated and ready to go. But in the meantime, you can still switch metals and just keep a bit of a closer eye on it for yourself.
And I'll add something there, Adam, too. Spent a lot of time. We spend so much time researching this stuff and doing the numbers. We've been throwing numbers around left, right, and centre to make sure what we're saying is spot on, is correct. We're not going to put this out there unless we know what we're talking about, unless we know it works. We know for a fact this works. So we're just sharing it with you. You can either do it or don't. You'll still benefit just by saving in gold and just by saving in silver, or both. You'll still benefit. But if you can benefit further, then why not? And like I said earlier, it'd be selfish of us to keep this to ourselves. This is us showing you the theory again, but we're going to show you the how-to in further videos. So please keep an eye on our channels on BitChute and, well, on Telegram too, on Telegram and YouTube.
I think as well, if anyone would like to do this, then get in contact with us. This is what we do for ourselves. And get in contact and we can show you how it's done. And you can start doing this straight away, no problem. So you can always go to our website, fill in a contact form, and we'll show you how to do it. If you've already started investing in metals and you're one of our loyal customers, again, we can show you how to do it. We record all videos, so all kind of training and stuff like that, and we'll get all of that information to you. But yeah, I think, look, this is something that we looked at and thought, well, this is a no-brainer, but you've got to do something. You can't. You've got to understand it, and you've got to actually take a little bit of action. You're not going to do that much actually, but you've got to do something to get this set up. So get in contact with us, and we'll show you how to do this. And we'll help you. As James said, check out BitChute and YouTube, where we're putting way more videos. This needs explaining in several videos, I think, just so people really grasp it. And we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, no, it's something like I said earlier. Again, it really is something that it's taken us a good few years we heard about it at the very beginning, but it's taken us a few years to actually really understand it ourselves. So please don't knock yourself if you don't get this straight away. But you will, didn't. Because we spend one heck of a lot of time in our videos making it as straightforward and simple as possible. So you understand it, because if you don't understand it, you're less likely to take action and benefit from it. So we do spend so much more time just to try and really keep it straightforward and simple so you get it. But at least you can watch them back, can't you? You can watch the videos back until you do get it. And if you're still stuck, because we all learn different ways, please don't knock yourselves. We all learn differently. So sometimes it might just be a phone call. It might just be a call, and you might get it that way. We'll explain it differently, and you might understand it then a different way. But it isn't. It's strange. This, it doesn't. You always revert back to price. Well, I always do, and so does Adam. So
it's not intuitive.
It's the ratio we're looking at, not the price.
But
when you get it, you flip and get it, and you want to do
it. When the penny drops, you're like, this is a no-brainer. And that's what happened with us. We were like, what? Why haven't we done this earlier?
Why wouldn't you do it?
Great. Well, look, thanks for watching. I hope you found value in this. Watch this video again so it really sinks in, and get in contact with us, and we can help you out. So perfect. Thanks so much, guys. We'll speak soon.
Take care, everyone.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye now.